Okay, today we're going to be learning how to solve multiplication and division equations. Again, when we're solving equations, we are going to be using inverse operations. So with multiplying and dividing, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. The opposite of dividing is multiplying. First example here, we have 3x equals 21. Now remember, 3x means 3 times x. So we have 3 times x, and that's equal to 21. So 3 times some number gives us 21. This is multiplication, so in order to solve it, we have to use division. We are multiplying by 3, so we have to divide by 3 to undo the multiplication. So if we divide this side by 3, we also have to divide this side by 3. So 3x divided by 3, the 3's cancel out. And we just have x. Bring down your equal sign. Now 21 divided by 3 is going to be 7. And again, you go back and you check. So we have 3 times, we said x is 7, and it should be equal to 21. 3 times 7, we know that's 21. 21 is equal to 21. We have a true statement, so x is equal to 7, and that's our answer. So anytime you have the number in front of the x, you remember it's a multiplication equation. You're trying to get rid of that coefficient there. Now we have our second example. Y divided by 10 equals 15. So y divided by 10 equals 15. Here it's division. Remember, the fraction bar there means division. So how do we get rid of division? Through multiplication. So we're going to multiply by 10 on the left side. We also have to multiply by 10 on the right side. So 10 times y divided by 10, those 10's cancel out. You've got just y. And that's equal to 15 times 10, which is 150. Now we check. Y, which we are saying is 150, going to be divided by 10. We need it to equal 15. Remember, if they have zeros in common, they can cancel. We have 15 over 1, which is just 15, and 15 equals 15. So we know y is 150. Okay, example 3. Z divided by 4 equals 25. So z divided by 4, we're going to get 25. So some number, when you divide it by 24, or divide it by 4, you're going to get 25. So division, the opposite of that is to multiply. So times 4 times 4. 4 and dividing by 4 cancel out. Z is equal to 25 times 4 is 100. And I'm going to have you check that one in your notes. So you should get out that z is equal to 100. Okay, example 4. This one's a little different in that we have a fraction as our coefficient. Remember, your coefficient is the number that the variable is being multiplied by. So we have 3/5 times h, and that's going to be equal to 45. Now we want to get rid of multiplying by 3/5 by dividing by 3/5. Now remember, we have 3/5 here, and if we divide by 3/5, remember how we do the keep, change, flip? Well, here we go. 3/5 times 5/3. Because when you multiply this across, you get 15 over 15, which is 1, which is what we want to have in front of our variable. We only want it to be 1h. So we're going to remember, when we're dividing by a fraction, you're actually going to multiply by its reciprocal. So the way this is going to look for an equation, you're going to go 3/5, your fraction in front, multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 3/5 is going to be 5/3. And if we multiply this side by 5/3, got to multiply this side by 5/3 as well. So let me clean up our workspace. Okay, 5/3 times 3/5. We already said, look, the 5 and the 5 are going to cancel. The 3 and the 3 are going to cancel. We're just going to have h, because 5/3 times 3/5, we already said that's going to be 1. Now we go over here. Remember, it's 45 over 1. So I'm going to use cross simplification. 45 and 3, those can both cancel out by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 45 divided by 3 is 15. So now we have 15 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25, carry your 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2, 7. So h is 75. And I will leave you to plug this one back into your notes and check it out. So h is 75. If you got a fraction in front, multiply by the reciprocal. All right. Got our last couple examples here. Moses is buying CDs from the store. CDs are $3.50 each. He spent $17.50 total. Find how many CDs he bought by writing and solving an equation. Okay, $3.50 per each CD. We don't know how many CDs, but you take the cost of the CDs multiplied by the number of CDs, we'll use C, and that's going to give you your total cost, which is $17.50. Okay, so we have 3.5 times C. How do you undo multiplication? With division. So we're going to divide both sides by 350. Divide by 350 here. So now we've got C is equal to, and we will divide 1750 by 350. Remember, you've got a decimal on the outside, so you've got to move it twice, and so now we're going to look. We've got 1,750 being divided by 350. I'm going to say it's probably going to be about 5. So let's try 350 times 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry your 2. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2 is 17. And look at that, comes out exactly. So we know that C is equal to 5. And again, I want you to go back in your notes and check that out. Okay, last example. Zane has collected some volunteer hours. He has earned them at the animal shelter, library, and school evenly. He has earned 50 hours at each location. Write and solve an equation to determine the total hours earned. Okay, we don't know what total number of hours he has earned, but we know that he's earned them evenly amongst the 3 places, and that at each place he's earned 50 hours. So that is a division one, because if you think how you would solve that, well, you take 3 times 50 and get your answer out. But when we're writing an equation, we have to think backwards. So if we're thinking to solve it, we're going to multiply. We're going to write it as a division equation. So I don't know how many total hours, so we'll put H. The number of hours divided by the number of places he has earned the hours is going to give us how many hours he has earned at each place. And we know he's earned 50 hours at each place. There's 3 places that he has earned them at. We'll figure out how many hours total. To undo division, you do multiplication. So the number of hours is going to be 50 times 3, 150. And always put your units. And that's how you solve multiplication and division equations.